for Mouz on cash. Now, whether that was just to get psyched up and get hyped up and get ready to frag is a different story. But we're going to see it here in just a few moments, whether or not they've got that ability. And look at this push from the C9 side. 4 people in the A bomb site going to push in. 2 in A main and 2 in Squeaky. Shazam's going to find a little bit of damage over there. Legia is down. And Shroud coming around the corner is going to find a double. Chris J answers back finally, but nothing is going to be there as well. And that's going to leave Chris J the last man standing. I'm struggling to get in his eyes, but it's down to a 1v2 and nothing on the other side of this smoke in A main. Going to be looking for it. There it is, finally. Nothing with a big 3K in the pistol round. Shroud with a double. Cloud9 walk away with the victory, 1-0.
Yeah, and that's another round where Shroud's just playing absolutely huge for his team with those impact kills here. And you know, the tough part for Mouz is that could have been, you know, if Cloud9 hadn't stacked 4 players there, like, what a call. 2 door, 2 main aggression, and once players from Mouz came up highway, they were still in such a bad situation, even though they had control of the bomb site. So many players surrounding them, so a nice opening by Cloud9. And we do see that second round buy for Mousesports. Chris J has the scout. He's going to go over towards B. Legia with the deagle opens up on a Shazam. Nothing takes one out. So a couple trades here early on.
Wow. I didn't even have an opportunity, but Legia is going to be able to find another one. That's nothing going down. He's still alive somehow. 13 HP. He's got Sean Garris to beat, and Sean Garris with the MP7 is going to find that kill. And that's
Sempus has a great position, though. They're running right into him, and they're not prepared for it. Chris J comes jumping out. He gets sprayed down. Sempus gets the second one, but he can't get the third. So there's a Tech 9 kill for tabseN, and now he's got 20 HP. He's got the bomb, and he's got a scout. But he's got a long way to make it into a bomb site. He does have 1 minute to work with, and you can see the Cloud9 members are split up across the map. They're playing 1B, 1A right now, trying to prevent the plant. So one nice shot from tabseN, and he's going to have a free bomb site, but not a lot of room for error with only 20 HP.
Not at all, and Sean Garris holding on to the B bomb site. He smoked off B main, watching the checkers side, expecting maybe a push through the smoke. He's going to give himself time to react to that, but tabseN is working his way around there. He does have that scout. And it looks like he wants to maybe just hang on to it for the next round. He does have armor as well and a couple of nades. So that's a pretty expensive, I mean, sitting on $3,900, that's not a bad thing to do in that situation. Hang on to it, fight the next round out, because you saw Legia with 2 big deagle headshots to open the round up for the Mouz side. And luckily for them, Sempus was aware, got the big flank, was able to pick up the 2 kills and shut down the Mouz push. So tabseN is going to at least make a bid to hold on to it. And C9, they're not in a position that they want to push and maybe sacrifice a weapon here.
No, not at all. They've taken enough damage this round, so they're just going to let the clock run out. And that's going to be the scout in the hands of Mouz for the next round. See if that can make any kind of opening, and he'll be able to either drop that or the Tech 9 to a teammate to provide a little bit of additional firepower for his squad. And he is going to drop the scout over, so it's going to be a glass cannon scout.
Glass cannon scout.
Actually, they're buying up again. So
yeah, with
the damage they did in that second round, they obviously feel like the economy for Cloud9 has got to be a little bit low. If they can keep the pressure on, they might be able to break this here very, very early.
And you can see Shazam actually forced to only have a 5-7.
That also just shows you the reliance that he has on having an AWP in his hands.
Well, he's only got $900 though. Maybe Sean Garris going to drop him one in the coming rounds, but very limited economy for him as well. You know, losing those FAMASas in the last round. They bought up 3 FAMASas and 3, oh wow, it's nothing through the smoke is going to find tabseN, but they lost 2 out of the 3 FAMASas that they had. They were able to salvage one at the end of the round, but Chris J going to get very aggressive out through mid, and he's looking for it. Is he doing the crouch crab walk?
Here's the thing, they're giving Chris J, there's a lot of space in middle to work with. Chris J has a very, very strong position, and with that scout, he's going to try an entry. He goes for a no-scope with the scout. Nico and Gob combined for a couple nice Tech 9 headshots, so all of a sudden Shroud basically alone in the site. One over at Truck, that's Shazam, only with the pistol though, so Shroud's got to come up huge, but he can't do it. Nico takes him out. That's going to be a bomb plan for the Terra side. Gob's putting it down. There is a rifle in the hands of Nico. He's going to drop it to a teammate with more HP and pick up the scout. He's transitioned over. He goes for jumping over the forklift.
Oh, caught reloading though. Gabi goes down. But
oh, what a nice headshot.
And look at the HPs between the 2 teams right now. 21 for Shazam and 15 for Nico. Going for the jump scout. He spotted his body, just a sliver. Shazam still yet to go for the defuse. He does get the pick, and he does have a kit, so that is going to be a defuse. And again, they did get the bomb planted here, so maybe another buy up here?
You wouldn't.
It's close.
Yeah, it would make sense to, because once again, you get the plant. You can keep force buying in these situations because you know the economy for Cloud9 is low despite winning that. And there you go, you're in the AK in the hands of Gabi. Legia with another deagle. He's had some success with that and some Tech 9 picked up as well, but 3 AK-47s, a couple Molotovs to work with, and that's something on this map that comes into play very, very much. There are a lot of positions when you're taking bomb sites, taking mid control, that you can use those Molotovs to eliminate potential, disasters for you.
And you can see a little early aggression there from the terrorist side. They actually got one out mid, and that's Simphis going to capitalize on that push through the smoke. Takes down Gabi, and again, there's the entry frag, and Sean Garris chimes in with one as well. Nico does manage to go back in on him. That was over at the B-bomb site, and that's exactly where the bomb is, and nothing is in a very precarious predicament right now, as he's got 3 incurring terrorists as Legia finds Simphis as well. So a very difficult situation for nothing to be in. He is stuck here in the corner. The flashbang comes around the corner. They do dodge it. Nico's going to capitalize, and it's down to a 2 versus 3. Shazam, though, with the AWP, is going to be able to locate the kill onto Nico. And they are going to push on in towards this bomb site. And Shroud on the long flank, coming all the way around from B main. And Shazam's worked his way up into heaven. Going to spam on through, but he's not going to be able to find anything. And this is really going to be on Shroud, the lone rifler for the CT side. Can he sniff out Legia? Here he is. We're going to be able to find him, sprays him down, and it's now down to just Chris J. Playing over from Generator. He gives his back to Shroud, and just like that, he solidifies the round for Cloud9. 4-0 for the Americans.
Yeah, and a good round from Shazam. They're being patient up top. Just letting him. But that big flank by Shroud came up huge, obviously. The 2-on-2. Legia not prepared for it, not ready for it, didn't check that way. Both players, actually, like you said, end up turning their back to Shroud. So Chris J was trying to get aggressive. He knew in a 1-on-2 situation where he was in the bomb site, he felt like he really had to choose one of them and just get aggressive on him. And Shroud just peaked at the right time, so the timing's not working out for Mousesports, but another plant and another buy, so they're going to keep this pressure up consistently. They're doing a lot of damage. They're getting a lot of kills in all these rounds, so as soon as they're able to convert one of these into a win, the economy for Cloud9 is going to be in shambles.
Absolutely. So again, we are going to see that buy up here. They did get the bomb plant on the terrorist side last round, and it's going to be a couple of Tech 9s, well, one Tech 9 in the hands of Chris J. An AK now for Legia. He's been playing extremely well. Talking about Legia, he's just getting those 1-taps and those 1-digs and everything. And look at this. Chris J already pushed over. They get a nice smoke right in his face, and Sean Garris is going to be playing from the pit. Are they going to molly him out? No, that molly's going to be off the mark. Simphis opens things up. Gabi goes down. And now a little bit of damage. Now Cloud9's nothing is going to be low, and he does finally fall. And Sean Garris going to be able to spray down, and now Shazam from the heavens is going to be able to rain death down from above. He's going to be able to find Tapson. Now it's going to be Legia over there. Nico takes down Sean Garris. Another brilliant shot from Shazam finds Legia. Nico going to be your last man standing over by Generator. Going to try to get the peek out onto Shazam. Biding his time now. It's a 3 versus 1. There's no reason for them to go for an overly aggressive peek here. They have the bomb down in B main. They've got the flank in as well, and that's going to be Simphis finding it, taking him down 5-0.
And that's what they needed now, because Mouse doesn't get a plant. They don't do 3 members alive for Cloud9, so their economy starts to stabilize. So now they can be a little bit more confident moving forward, but we're seeing another buy out of Mouse. Nico picking up that AK-47. Still some Tech 9s. I mean, they haven't had a full rifle buy yet this half. This time they're going for, it looks like 3 pistols and 2 rifles. They do have a lot of utility behind it.
It's curious.
No one to really challenge Shazam quite yet with that AP. Chris J not being able to pick it up because of all these buys round after round.
And again, he's going to be looking for the boost over mid, and that's not going to be where they're going this round. They are going to try to creep around here towards the B-bomb site. They found a little success there in the past couple of rounds. But that Molotov is going to say otherwise. Tapson getting burned down to 93. And look at this. Chris J is actually pushed up here all the way towards A main, waiting for that smoke to dissipate. Does have a teammate over around the corner, and Tapson's going to make a bid for the checkers side of things, and that's right where nothing is. And Gabi through the smoke taken down, so a quick double for nothing. That bomb has been dropped outside of B main. Of course, the CT side of Cloud9 don't realize that yet. Chris J goes down to Shazam's AWP, and like you said, they haven't had any kind of a reply for that AWP yet. Nothing.
Yeah, and he's also stepped it up from the last map. You said there were portions. Oh, his deagle is on point at the moment. He gets one, but he switches away from it at the wrong time. Nothing's being very aggressive over at B with these peaks. Nico punishes him for it, and then swings into checkers, gets one falling out, but Shroud's there for the trade. So 6-0 now for Cloud9. And everyone playing well on their part. Shazam with that AWP especially. I was just saying, we said he was a little bit quiet on Inferno, but here he stepped it up. He's had some big rounds now.
Yeah. And again, he's going to go for the big green this round. See whether or not he can lay it down on the CT side. 7-2 for him so far. And
Mouse has been able to buy every round. Now that they have the full money bonus going their way, it's allowing them to buy. But the bomb plants early on in the half let them buy, and all those rounds that we normally see are some of them, at least 1 or 2 of them are eco rounds. They've been buying the armor Tech 9, trying to keep the pressure on him. It hasn't worked for him quite yet.
Right you are. There's the flashbang into A main. Chris J's going to eat that. He is going to be the lone pistolero for the terrorist side of Mousesports, and Shazam's worked his way all the way over to quad wall, looking for this early pick. Number 6 man is going to be around the corner. That is Chris J. Holding behind the boxes in A main.
And Cloud9 has full mid control at the moment, so any kind of B attack is going to be a swift rotate. Any kind of A attack, Shroud's prepared to come back towards that bomb site, but they have so many players here. They're going to have so many potential crossfires. Some gun battles going out.
That was a fortunate smoke, too. The terrorists actually smoked off B main, and that allowed nothing to get out of checkers.
It does look like this is going to be an eventual mid, or just B hit with one flanker coming out mid, but Nico gets the opening on a nothing. They predict where Sean is, does good damage. He's got 19 HP. Nico coming in. Chris J's actually going to pick that one up, so there's the B bomb site finally taken cleanly.
Oh, and look at this Legia on the lurk in mid. He's going to be able to find one. That Shroud. Can he get Simphus too? Peeking out, and he does. And that's going to leave Shazam by his lonesome in the A bomb site. The AWP in hand, but it's a 5v1, so it will be Mousesports' first round on the board, and it comes in a big way.
Yeah, he picks up one, but he's still got a lot of work to do if he wants to save this op, and something they desperately need. He misses that one, and now he's getting surrounded. He's not going to be able to do anything. Chris J takes him out with the Tech 9, picks up the op of his own, so finally we'll see that into his hands. But on this round, Shazam's got a lot of money, but everyone else on Cloud9 is pretty poor.
And that's a big flip-flop right there, is the going from the Tech 9, picking up the AWP for free, so $47.50 that he doesn't have to spend into this gun round, and now it's our first... Technically our first full gun round for the terrorist side, and just like that, Cloud9 has to save after winning 6 in a row.
Yeah, it was all that pressure repeatedly put on, all those frags that they kept getting. It just wore down that economy. So now Mousesports, they have to take advantage of this, because the entire point of having that pressure put on round after round, not saving, is that now you can get to these rounds that are a little bit easier to win against the pistols. You can get these kills, and once again, a lot of room given up for the terrorists in middle, and Godb's able to find 2 good entry frags onto A. No one even really contesting him whatsoever. And now on to, I guess it might be a retake if they want to go for it. Godby getting very aggressive towards Truck. He spots 2, eventually gets taken out by Shazam. And the bomb is finally making its way over towards A. They're going to smoke it off and let him get in for free. Toss out a Molotov as Nico over towards that truck. Get him some room to breathe.
Yeah, and Shazam down to 12. Sean Garris at 58, so just try to do a little bit of the economical damage here. As you can see, they're coming up. Nothing is going to go down. Taps him with a nice shot through the smoke. Is going to find nothing. And now Sean Garris and Shazam decided to fall back. Hang on. They actually did pick up a kit for Shazam, so not a bad deal out of this one if they're able to hold on to that kit. That's $400 they don't have to spend in the next round. It might be a double save. Not a lot of money on nothing or Simphus here.
Yeah, they're hurting. I would imagine, knowing Cloud9, though, I would imagine this next round's going to be a buy-up. But
I don't know why I was ever even mentioning the word save and Cloud9 in the same sentence.
Well, also, I mean, it's not the worst idea. I would like to see them save. You know, up 6-2, you can give out another round here, and you can buy the next round and feeling a little bit more confident with it. But just based off their tendencies, although it does look this round they're going to choose to. Oh nope, there's the buy. There it is. So Shazam picking up the
Never
AWP.
second guess yourself, Moses.
Nothing, picking up his SMG as well, trying to do
Go
a
for
little
Chris
bit of
J
a Chris
style.
J style, yep. And you know, Shroud. They only have 1 kid on the team. That's on Shazam. That's the one he saved. So that is going to come into a big play here. He being able to keep that one, and it does look some aggression towards B. It looks like a triple push. Simphus is going to get out towards the box. Nothing is there, but he gets offed. He was open in the crack, and he falls. So now Simphus, he gets sneaked by his teammate, but he gets 1 more shot onto Chris J. 2 more Mouse members coming in. Sean providing great support, and quickly down into a 4-on-3. He's going to smoke things off. Shroud picks up one. So Mousesports not able to string 3 together here. He's going to spray, like, he is going to spray down Simphus, but not much more to do in a 1-on-3 situation.
Well, I don't know. He's doing a great job so far. He's getting that damage out. Sean Garris around the corner, though. He's going to go wide peak and takes him down. Swings on out, and just like that, that's going to be the 7-2 scoreline now. It's Mousesports. They do have the money in the bank after picking up a couple of those rounds, but the money bonus has been reset, so if they drop this, they are potentially looking at a save.
And Cloud9's actually playing this, you know, they're throwing a lot of variety in their defense at Mousesports. So, you know, they've had rounds where they play aggressive mid and they take mid control. They have rounds where they completely give it up, and that round they put the aggression towards B and they catch some players off guard. Simphus with a couple beautiful shots to open it up.
Yeah, and I still can't believe that pick onto nothing. Just a sliver of his body showing he was just trying to get that information on somebody crossing toxic. It just happened to be Chris J who had it off.
I feel like nothing. It looked like, because he wasn't moving whatsoever. It looked like he was looking at a teammate's screen, waiting to see the information coming, and just didn't realize how far he was exposed. So now over towards B is these 3 Mouse members. The bomb is there, and they're out mid as well. So this is going to be a combined mid to B split. Chris J with that AWP. There's the challenge onto Simphus. He gets that kill, wins the duel, but nothing chimes in. And Nico, now they've got the bomb site open. Sean stuck behind a smoke. All the Cloud9 members are going to be stuck behind smokes here. Simphus gets dropped, though. He peeks a little bit too far, a little bit overextended. All of a sudden, a 4-on-2, and this might just cause Cloud9 to consider saving these weapons as the bomb gets planted, and this would be a very, very difficult retake to have.
Absolutely, but, you know, Shroud with the AK-47 in hand, they looked like they were humoring it for a second. If maybe a terrorist overextends themselves, they get that pick and maybe go for it after that. But
that Molotov scared them back, blocking off one of the choke points for that long.
So rightfully falling back and saving 7-3, not a bad scoreline. Cloud9 still in control of the matchup.
They haven't picked up Chris J's op, though.
Yeah, that is sitting over in back halls, so maybe waiting for that bomb to explode. There is the number 0 man that is close by. That's going to be Nico, but that bomb expires and they never go back to get it.
He's going to be able to afford one either way. It's just, well, someone will be able to drop one for him at least, so. And now here's that kind of an awkward money situation. They have 2 rifles in their hands, so do they buy up some pistols behind it? Do they get the 5.7s? Because Shazam can buy as well, so now they have 3. Still only just 1 kit on that side, though, and it is going to be a pistol buy behind it. Semphis buys the armor. Nothing has a 5.7 and a CZ onto Semphis, so 1 kit, some good utility, and 3 rifles to work with here.
Man, Shroud's got a beautiful knife. Whew. Anyway, we are going into a full gun round here. It is going to be a force up from the Cloud9 side, something that we're pretty keen on saying here as of late. But it does look like they are going to try to make their way in towards this A-bomb site. Shroud, though, going for huge plays, takes down 3, and that's going to be Tabson that finally able to dispatch him with the firebomb. And that's going to leave it all on Legia and Tabson. Shazam, though, high. Peeking out from Catbox, and Shazam somehow still alive at half health, but he is going to go down. Tabson finds the frag, so it's down to a 2 versus 2. On the back of a huge hold in the A-bomb site by Shroud, and Sean Garris stealthily working his way around to A main, and this is a big play. If he's able to work his way all the way around to A main, he could put himself into a prime position to be able to pick off Tabson.
Well, this is actually planted for middle, for Legia over at the box at the bottom of highway, so Tabson, you know, Cloud9 has been giving so much room in middle, and they've been taking full advantage of his mouse, and Sean loses that battle. Tabson with a big kill there, and now it's going to be a good crossfire if nothing eventually tries to defuse this bomb. He's only got a pistol. He does take out Tabson. Now he's got to hit a beautiful shot, but the Molotov is going to come in and just land on the bomb. So great play from Mousesports here. Nothing's just forced to run away. No kit in his hands whatsoever. So that's going to be a 4th round for Mousesports.
Yeah, and again, that's just showing you the power of those auxiliary grenades. I mean, that firebomb wasn't even gone in time for him. Even if he had a kit, which he didn't, by the time that fire dissipates, he still doesn't have time in order to pick up that defuse. So great use, holding on to that Molotov till the end of the round and able to put it to good use at the end.
Here's the thing. Cloud9 needs to, at some point, you know, like we saw in Inferno, they were getting beat up over towards B, and eventually they put more aggression onto it early on and stopped Mousesports from going up banana. Here on Cash, they're getting exploited in mid, and, you know, in the mid-round situations, Mousesports is very much able to find a lot of room to work with in mid, and they need to stop that because that's killing them at the moment.
And a fast push coming towards the B-bomb site here, and maybe smelling out the save on Mouz's side. Nothing with the AKs, trying to lay some damage down, not able to do it. And Legia is going to capitalize on one rotating around and actually gets naded by his teammate. A little miscommunication there, but it's going to be okay. Gabi looking for the spam into CT spawn. Look out, Shroud. Oh, it's so close. But A does eventually fall, and that's going to leave nothing in a 1 versus 5. So switching up the pace now on the terrorist side, and that's going to be a 5th round for Mousesports. So they're right back in this one.
Right, they gave up those 6 rounds, but they've got good reads here on Cloud9 at the moment.
That CT side that's coming up, that's lurking in the dark.
Well, they had, you know, their Inferno CT side was supposed to be just as weak, perhaps, and they look good. They look like they worked on it, and then you also said, oh, nothing with a couple great shots here, doing some damage at the end of the round, but gets caught out from behind by Gabi, but
it's unfortunate.
They've obviously put some work in here, so looking good so far with 5 rounds on the terrorist half. Cloud9 is reeling at the moment.
Yes, they are, and their money situation is not awful this round. They are going to be able to buy up some rifles, but it's going to be very limited. Sean Garris actually opting to go for the FAMAS so he can get a full bit of nades here. And only 1 incendiary, no kits.
I like the 5 mollies on Mouz's side, though. I like that a lot. There are a lot of places wherever you want to take map control, whether it's at A, you can molly off the quad boxes, molly off the corner by the fence. Mid control, you can molly off vents, you can molly off sandbags. B, there's so many places to Molotov. So those are a big factor in how terrorist teams can take bomb sites and map control on this map.
And look at this. We talked about it before, that mid-control that Cloud9 has been exercising so far, and they've got 3 members over there. Shroud spamming through, trying to find the damage onto Legia. Not going to be able to locate it, but they've also got nothing over here, and Semphis actually pushed up against the mid-main wall. just spotting out, looking for the boost. The smoke comes out and cordons that area off a little while longer, and Shroud resigns. He's going to go back over towards the A bomb site to try to support his teammate Shazam, who only has the M4. Now, we've only seen him with the AWP, what, 2, maybe 3 rounds, but the action is coming towards the B bomb site as Tapson opens it up. That bomb, though, rotating over towards A. So look at this rotation from C9. They bring Shroud all the way over towards the B bomb site to try to watch from heaven, but that hit is going to be coming towards A, and I think Simphis may have heard a footstep or two. Shazam holding strong from truck.
Right, but you're exactly right. The defense is spread so thin at the moment, and they have no control. They have no one inside the bomb site. So Shazam, without the op from truck, trying to watch this cross. As soon as he gets smoked off, he's in a lot of trouble, and there's still so much utility to work with on the side of Mouz. Cloud9, on the other hand, no kits and only 2 flashbangs, down to 1. Shazam's going to get himself into the site, so that's a good call. Tapson's going to get a pick out of Simphis, though. And now Shazam's feeling very uncomfortable on quad. He's got to come up huge. He spots Chris J, gets that kill. He's going to get Molotov'd out, though. Not able to get a second one, so there's the site. Shroud being aggressive, trying to get in as well, but he gets dropped. Not enough damage done by him, so it's all up to nothing in a 1-on-3. Coming up highway, the bomb's going down. Nico blinded himself. He might have spotted him, and he did. Nothing. He's able to win that battle, down so very low, though.
Yeah, he's got 1 in A main to beat, and he's got 1 in the backside of the site. And Tabson's going to capitalize a triple on the round for Tabson, and another round in the books for Mousesports, 7-6. So, again, like you said before, the comfort level on the C9 side is completely out the window. They were up 7-2 at one point. Now, just like that, 1 round difference from a tie ball game.
Right, and this is, you know, now they haven't been able to afford an op for quite some time on Shazam's hand. So some of those force buys that they like to do, you know, that round that we said, you know, it would be okay for them to double save here. They need to get that op in Shazam's hands. He was lighting it up when he had it early on. He was playing very well, and they've gone away from that now because they haven't had the money to do it.
And look at this. They're going to go for the boost over mid, and this is going to not bode well for Simphis. I'm pretty sure Gabi spotted the top of his head. Going to reposition himself. He's just got to move very, very short distance to hit this flick shot. Bit of a standoff here, and Simphis
is just going to wait here until there's some kind of, you know, intel of where they're going, and he's going to try and get a fast flank. He's got 12 HP, or 15, excuse me. He's not going to take that battle. This could actually be scary. Chris J's going to Molotov. That might land right on top of him. He finally peeks up as he sees the nades come in, does a little bit of damage, not able to get the kill. Gabi takes him out. So now they have a little bit of a spread defense. Once again, Shroud's pushed up in the middle. They have 2 players over at B who are finally rotating back. Magia gets dinked down. Shroud does win that battle, but the boost from Gabi is going to trade it off. But there's no committal from Mousesports. They're playing this very cautiously. They know the pistols are in the hands of Cloud9, so they're not taking any kind of risk of running into a stack. They're playing it slow. They're getting their intel, and they're going to decide from there.
Does look like they are going to work their way over towards A main, and Shazam is going to be holding on to things over here with just a 5-7 in hand. And AK has been salvaged by nothing, but the push in, and Nico quickly dispatching of Shazam takes him down. And now the rotation is going to be there. Nothing holding in mid, trying to find Tapson around the corner. The aim punch is too strong. He goes down, and that's going to leave it all on Sean Garris in a 1v4. So we should be all tied up at the end of this round. It's 7-all going into the final round of the first half. Trying to pop some shots right now is Sean Garris, but he's not going to be able to make it happen. He goes down to the hands of Nico. So opening up that B bomb site, or that A bomb site, pardon me, is Nico, and he's sitting at 14-10. So quite the different story that we saw in Inferno.
Yeah, leading the way for his team, and finally now, this late in the half, they actually, instead of only getting an op into Shazam's hands, they get one into Nothing's hands as well.
I'm expecting Nothing to go for a quick peek at B.
Yeah, he has the spawn for it.
Yeah, that looks like exactly what he's going to do. Try to get in the eyes of Chris J, who's going to be going over towards mid, maybe looking for a boost over in that direction. And he's going to be looking for that A main aggression, and Shazam's going to be over in Z. So a little bit spread out here, and Nothing's still looking for this peak, but he's not going to be able to find anything. There is one player over there, that's Tapson, who's going to smoke things off. So Nothing's going to go all the way back around towards Checker's side. So he's got himself into a good position to pick up this opening kill. And there it is. There's the peek from Tapson, the Molotov around the corner. Nice use of the nades from the Mouz side. And spamming through the smoke finds some good damage.
Yeah, and you're right. Absolutely beautiful use of the Molotov to gain control of B. They push the op back. Shazam, on the other hand, on the other side of the map, manages to take out Chris J. Over at A, he's hanging out by fence, and it looks like Nico wants to challenge him, but he shies away from it. You could see he was sidestepping into it, and now we're going to have a delayed mid-control from Mouz. They come streaming out of the smoke. Sean can't pick a target to aim at, and he falls. Simphis in the vents, though, takes out Gabi from behind. Not prepared for it. Lagia gets another kill, so now they're coming up highway. They're working into this A bomb site. He's going to flash out Shazam over in quad, and they have a molly if they want to try and force him out of position, but Simphis on that flank from vents gets another one, so all down to Tapson in a 1-on-3 situation. And Shazam works his way around the smoke, and he gets that kill. And that's going to be the 8th round for Cloud9. So taking advantage into the second half, but You know, for a while there, they were getting very, very beat up in that double op setup, and you know that's why it was so confusing. They lost. Shazam's op was on fire early on. He was getting a lot of very good kills, and then they do all these force buys that we know Cloud9 likes to do. Up 6-2, you can afford to save one more round. Let them get to 3 or 4 rounds if that's what it takes to get the op back in your sniper's hands, who was having a great few rounds early on, and now finally at the end they get it and they win that last round. So not having that op was a huge factor in that half.
Yeah, I mean, and he was sitting at a 7-2 scoreline when he had the AWP, and ever since then, I think he finished out the half. We'll see here in a second once the overlay updates. Where did he finish out the half? 12 kills? 13 kills. So he only got 6 more kills in the entire first half after the first 5 rounds.
And I believe 2 or 3 of them came in the last one.
Yeah, I think he got 2 kills in the last round as well. So
yeah, Cloud9 had a little bit of a deficit here. They are up 8-7. It is going to be going into this pistol round. And this is the side that Mousesports has had some of those troubles. We talked about 5 CT wins over 14 CT wins over 5 matches. And so we're going to see what kind of improvements they've made, because you know this is a map they wanted to look at. They talked about how this is a map they were willing to play Cloud9 on, so they have something in store for him here.
And not to mention the fact that they went through, I believe it was a 2-month boot camp or a 2-week boot camp before they attended this LAN. So they said that they were prepared. They said that they were ready to rock and roll. So we'll see whether or not they can bring the heat here on the CT side of Cash, a map that they're notoriously not that strong on.
Here's what I'm interested about in this round is Cloud9 has 3 Molotovs, so they have something they want to do, and it looks like the bomb is centralized at the moment, and no one's really
figure out what Leggy is doing.
No one's really gathering any kind of information on the side of Cloud9. They're all staying very hidden at the moment. So they have 2 players coming over towards B. It might be a Molotov execute into B. Nothing is over there with Sean, and they both have mollies.
There he is, finally. I think Legia might have gone up to go to the bathroom there for a minute. I don't know. He was staring at the ground with a smoke in his hand. Here comes the Molotovs.
And this is a fake. Generator. Keep that in mind. This is a fake. The real execute is going to come over towards A.
And look at this. Nico's not biting. He's behind the smoke. He's putting himself into a great position. They run by him. He drops the bomb carrier. Looking for a second one, and he gets it. And just like that, the round explodes. Sean Garris, your last man standing, and Gabi finds him. Mousesports, what a hell of a round.
And also, the fake wasn't sold. And you said it, you know, Nico not sold at all on that fake, even when the calls came in. So great call by Mousesports. Very good discipline to stay until the bomb was spotted, until some kind of Cloud9 player made a move, and some beautiful shots there. And now we're going to see those MP7s and the MP9 once again in Chris J's hands.
The bulldozer has been brought back. Watch out, kids. It's coming out. But this is interesting because we saw Cloud9 won the pistol round. What did they do in the second round? 3 FAMASs, 2 MP7s. Mouz wins the pistol round. What do they do in the second round? 1 FAMAS, an MP9, and 3 MP7s. So they're relying much more heavily on building that economy based off those SMG frags. And they have been so strong with them as well.
Oh, yeah, after Chris J, he can buy that MP9 whenever he wants after his performance.
Oh, Lord.
But it is interesting that they don't have those long-range weapons to work with, and they're giving up this A site. So there is going to be a plant in this second round for Cloud9, and it's basically a full retake. Gob is able to take out Semphis. Gabi Semphis coming in for a Lake mid flank, but 4 players still alive for Cloud9, so this is a bit of a scary situation for Mouz.
Absolutely. So they've actually doubled up over here by Quad. Mouz doesn't really have a whole lot of nades to work with. They got a couple flashes and some smokes and an HE. But now pushing on around is going to be Gabi, and there it is. Shroud's going to be able to find it, but nothing. The last man standing is actually smoked out by the squeaky door, so he doesn't actually realize there's nobody on the bomb.
Yeah, but he's nothing he can do. He's smoked out, 25 HP. He's going to run through that smoke and just die. He's just going to save that armor, that P250 into the next round, so that retake strategy works out for Mouz in the end.
A little dangerous for him, though.
It seemed like it, but they had a plan on their retake, and they executed it very well. They cleaned out that quad pretty cleanly, not dropping anyone after that first initial kill went down.
Yeah, Shroud.
And actually, interestingly enough, that was the FAMAS, so it was just the SMGs left to retake that bomb site.
Hey, and like you said, Chris J, it's either the AWP or the MP9. I don't think I've seen him use any other gun. I'm kidding. Tech 9. So it looks like it's going to be an A hit again, and look at this Leggy, very aggressive. He's going to get flashed out, and he's going to draw first blood. Nice dink being dealt onto, I believe that was Nico.
And he's all alone over here. He's still being aggressive. He's actually going to be able to close that door on him, and not enough aggression out of Cloud9. Even though that dink was on him, none of them wanted to commit to that fight, so Shroud's going to come out late. He is going to clean up that kill that Sean had the dink on, but not a strong eco round out of them, so Mouz cleans it up. It's going to be 10-8. With those SMGs, they've got good money to work with heading into the first gun round, and Shazam, they're going to drop him an AWP. Shroud's going to drop it over.
Maybe. There
He
it is.
will.
Okay. So there should be an AK on the ground for Shroud. Shazam's going to have the AWP, so it is going to be our first full gun round. And I say first full gun round because on Inferno, Chris J kept buying an MP9 and putting it to use. And it's just one of those things. It's the new meta. The bulldozer. That thing is beat to hell, too. I love it, probably because he uses it so much.
And Legia's in this position on highway where he can rotate quickly back towards mid or A as needed. They do have one player periodically spotting mid. That's got B. He's just spotting for someone to run out mid and into vents. They're not peeking the boost at all, but he is prepared to support his teammates there. So it is a pretty heavy B lean right now for Mousesports.
And Shroud, he's just playing very passive, waiting for this, maybe a push or a counter boost coming over the top.
Chris J is going to push through the smoke. He flashes himself through with that MP9. He finds Sean, but Sean's got a good angle and drops him with a nice headshot. No committal still from Cloud9. They're spread out in a default. They're just waiting for plays like that to get the advantage. So now with only 4 members up against the 5 of Cloud9, the defense is going to start spreading out. They're going to start trying to cover their bases. They have one player over towards B still. That's going to be Tabson playing behind the box and checkers, but Cloud9 finally starting to do something. Shazam's boosted up with his AWP, trying to clear things out. And it looks like they want to take this mid-control delayed.
And Shroud over here by the squeaky door. He's got Legia in front of Forklift to try to contend with, and he's got one on quad wall, which is going to be Nico as well. And Nico actually has the AWP, so a little bit different setup from the Mouse side. Nico's already going to put it to use. He's going to be able to find one. Simphis chimes in onto Legia. Now coming around the boxes. He's not able to find it, but the 5-7 whips it out in time, takes him down, and nothing's going to be right there for the trade. So it is going to be a 2 versus 3. The bomb is going to get planted here. They're going to try to go ahead and push up. Sean Garris on catwalk. Nice flashbang to the face of Gabi. Tabson, though, finds nothing. Sean Garris re-peeking, does manage to take down Gabi, and it's a 1 versus 2. Still a dangerous situation here for Cloud9. They can't overextend themselves.
Shazam's holding a nice angle, though, but shoulder peek from Tabson allows him to get out. He can win that fight against Sean. He can't. Now Shazam is so low. Yeah, he does, and he wins that fight finally against Sean. Not a lot of time left. He's got to get up here. He's going to try and jump onto the box. He's going to miss it. Shazam's got to hit the no-scope, but he does. A brilliant one-on-one win for Shazam. It's going to give him their 9th round.
Wow.
And that was almost an amazing 1-on-2 win for Tabson, and such an interesting crossfire, such a hard crossfire to overcome, and he almost does it there, but Shazam with the no-scope heroics there at the end.
And again, it's kind of like what we saw in Inferno. What was it? The round that Tabson had 3 big frags, and then Shroud got the quad to close it out and came down to that 1v1. And again, I believe that was Tabson in that 1v2. He's the anti-clutch. It's just unfortunate to see it unravel like that because that was such a heroic play that he had there. He was able to do some great damage onto Shazam and force him to resign back behind quad and managed to neutralize Sean Garris and isolate that 1v1. The pop flash at A main, though, they're going to be able to find a couple. Unfortunately, I didn't get into his eyes fast enough. Shroud is there to trade it out, but it's a 2-for-1 in favor of the Mousesports side. Legia is over here by the forklift, picking up where Nico left off.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pop flash for Nico. They did it the round before, and it actually, or a couple rounds ago, it didn't really work out for him. Now they're going to do it again delayed. Shazam's got an op on A main, but he knows one's pushed up, but he's going to get smoked off, and he's going to try and time the shot. Doesn't land it. Shroud's still over in door. And look at Cloud9 at the moment. 45 seconds on the round, and there's really nothing they can do. They're so spread out. They can't work together to do anything. So it's going to be up to one of their players to make some kind of a play for him. So relying on that individual skill versus any kind of teamwork that they might have. And this bomb is going to make its way over towards Sean over at the B bomb site. But so many players to deal with. Tabson in the vents. He's ready to pounce. He's ready to jump out. Sean's going to smoke off upper. They smoke off lower, but they've got to be careful out of these vents. Here comes Tabson. He falls out. Takes out Sean. Shazam gets one as he enters the bomb site. He doesn't turn around, so there's the bomb down. He gets 2 kills. And Shroud's going to come in late towards B bomb site, but he's got so many to deal with, and Tabson's just going to clean it up. So losing that 1-on-2 last round, but coming up huge here with that vent flank. And that's going to put the economy of Cloud9 back at the beginning.
Yeah, huge plays from Tabson. He's sitting at 17-9, so I mean, the work is being put in. He's done such a great job, and I mean, staying alive in those situations as well. I mean, only 10 frags for Chris J, but 22 for Nico. He's stepped up. I heard, I believe he just turned 18 a couple of weeks ago as well. So, you know, very young player coming into his own now. He was too young, I believe, to attend events in the past. So finally able to make it happen.
Yeah, and here's going to be a fast A play. He is going to get that first kill. Nico's caught out in the middle of nowhere. He does spread on Shroud, does good damage, but the rest of the Mouz members are coming in just to clean things up, and it's all up to Semphis now. Trying to wrap around forklift, nothing to find there. Lagia with a 3 kill there. So a good hold on the eco and pretty clean, only dropping 1 member.
And with the way that this is going right now, could we see a clean sweep of the Europeans 2-0ing the North American teams today?
It's absolutely possible.
It's absolutely possible. Right now, Mouz looking very strong on their CT side. And hey, look at that, Chris J with the MP9.
Yeah, and 4 more Molotovs. You know, they were spending rounds where they and their T side where they had all 5 members with a Molotov, and here they have 4, and it's another eco round from Cloud9. No armor on their side, but they do have some smokes and some flashbangs to work with, so they have a plan going forward, and they're going to pop flash quickly into A main. They don't commit to it. It looked like he was a little bit worried for it, and they're just going to come up to these instead of doing the run boost, they're going to do the old school boost behind the smoke, so they're going to get 1 up on top, and it's going to be up to Cloud9 to sniff that out. They're setting up for an A execute here.
Yeah, but this is going to put Nico in a really good position to pick off a number of players as they come in, because they're going to have the confidence of that smoke wall that they're getting ready to throw as it comes over the top, and the execution is going to come out here in a moment's notice. Semphis is going to get boosted up on top by Sean Garris, and now 3 members going to try to squish their way through. Shazam's already made it into the site, but there it is. Nico from the boost, 1 and 2. He's got 2 more to beat. That's going to be Sean Garris down there in A main, and that's going to be Semphis all the way over by mid main, and there it is. Sean Garris still trying to find it. Going to take that fight, and Nico wins it.
Yeah, not able to clean him up by shooting the kneecap. So that was very scary. Shazam got out to those quad boxes, you know, without anyone, it seemed like, really spotting him. He was able to dink Shazam, but that boost coming up huge. Nico eventually bailing him out of a tough spot.
Yeah. So 13-9 now, 4-round lead for Mousesports, and they're looking pretty good here on their CT side. I mean, let's take a look at the scoreboard. They've only lost 1 round in the second half, 6-1.
Yeah, and we are going to see a tactical pause coming out of Cloud9. This is kind of a breaking point in the match here. They need to pick up some rounds quickly before, I mean, they're already in a tough spot. Mousesports already up at 13, so Cloud9 has to come up with a plan of action. And those defensive struggles on this map don't seem to be appearing for Mousesports, so they've obviously worked on this. They had a plan, and they're executing it very, very well.
I mean, it's the retakes and everything like that. You saw it in the anti-eco rounds at the beginning. You know, those planned plays that they have that have been paying dividends for them so far. You know, you saw how they completely abandoned that A-bomb site on that second round anti-eco after they won the pistol. Allowed them to just go in, and they had full faith in their retaking abilities to be able to go in there, just completely destroy that defense that was set up by the Cloud9 side and just infiltrate that bomb site and have no problem with it. I think they ended up winning it with 3 members alive in the end.
Well, in the first half, too, you bring up a good point, because in the first half, we saw Mousesports able to continually put pressure on. Even when they were losing the rounds, they were getting a lot of kills. They were putting pressure onto the economy. They were getting plants, so they kept buying. Here in this half, Cloud9 hasn't had that kind of a success. Even on the rounds they lose, they're not getting the number of kills that Mousesports was getting. And so Mousesports is able to have a more stable economy. You can see the bank behind these rifles they have at the moment. And Cloud9's just got to find some way to get into these sites. And, you know, it's stemming from there's just a lot of these clean executes where we saw Mousesports work some mid-control in and lurk some players out. They were able to get some frags at places. Cloud9's not able to find those kills. And here we see this fast mid-control from the terrorist team. So they're out. They're going to use that Molotov very quickly to take out Sandbag, see if anyone runs from that position. No one's going to. They've done some damage to Lagia, and this is going to force the defense off mid, so that's going to open up a whole host of opportunities. But Shazam getting picked in A main kind of puts a damper on that, trying to work his way out of that smoke to forklift, so trying to sneak a play in there, and unfortunately it puts his team in a bad spot, especially with nothing dinked down towards 10 HP as well. So tough round for Cloud9 when it looked like they had that mid-control finally.
Yeah, really rough situation for him to be in. And again, Nico being a little bit aggressive over here by the generator box. He's going to go ahead and jump up on top. He spots the top of Semphis. That Molotov's, oh, it fizzles. Not able to throw the fadeaway jumper as far as he would have liked, but look at this boost that they have going on here in this B bomb site. Tabson up over top of default boxes. Shroud has dropped down, so they might be able to sniff this out, but that Molotov is going to split the defenses. Split the offense, pardon me, as they try to make their way in, and Tabson's going to be able to find one, and now it's going to be all on Chris J, who manages to take down Shroud and Sean Garris, 13 HP, and that's going to leave it all on nothing with 10 HP, trying to make his way across, and Chris J cleans it up, 14-9. We're on tie point.
Yeah, and Shazam trying to make that play there was just trying to do too much, because once he falls over at A, they don't have that presence in A main, or they don't have a presence at door at all. They took that fast mid control, and it seemed like they wanted to work with Shazam to pinch into that A bomb site so they could peek up highway and force someone out of position for Shazam to get, almost not a free kill, but, force him out into the open where Shazam can get a clean shot. And unfortunately, he just tries to come through the smoke and find a fancy kill, and he's not able to do it, and it puts his team in a tough spot. All they really had left at that point was that mid-B split, and it fails. So once again, trying to run through the smoke in mid. They're going to go for that mid control and a mid-B split, but Tapson gets boosted up in event, takes out one. Chris J chimes in as well. There's nothing responding. They know one's in vents. He's going to actually just push his way out into CT middle, and he's going to take out Semphis. So one prong of this mid-B split is taken out completely. Gabi even running through this Molotov, supremely confident, comes around the corner spraying, gets a kill. So quickly, it's all down to nothing in a 1-on-4. Not even able to find one, so Mousesports playing some very mobile and very aggressive defense here.
And I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of Mousesports right now. This is very surprising to me because given the way that they've played in the past on this map, I wouldn't have expected their CT side to be so strong, but goodness gracious, they are bringing it right now.
And they've just been dictating the pace of this entire second half. From those pushes into A main, from the pop flash pushes into A main that cleared some players out. Nico's had a couple double kills that way. The information it gathers, Cloud9 has no response for it. And since nothing's been working, they've been falling into these fast-paced executions, trying to catch people off guard. Shroud's going to get a nice headshot, but it's another mid-B split. Semphis gets Legia, and here's some success for Cloud9, already up 3 members.
Chris J in the backside of the bomb site's trying to make a go at it. Shroud's going to pick up a triple for this round. Now it's all down to Nico, so breathing a little bit of life right now. They're going to get their 10th round unless Nico can do something crazy. Shazam, though, with the AWP is going to be able to find that frag. 15-10, so we are on match point. The first map did go the way, I believe it was 16-12 on Inferno for Mousesports. And right now we're at 15-10, so they're making a bid for it right here, and we could see a clean sweep of the European top side if Mousesports is able to take this one in 2.
Yeah, and Chris J busting out the auto sniper as well. Very effective on this map where smoke executes come into play frequently. And we're going to have to see Shazam with that AWP. Despite some of the mistakes that he's made in this matchup, he's going to have to be huge with that AWP getting picks, but Semphis doesn't clear the sandbags properly, gets taken out for free, nothing responds. So it's a good trade, but Gabi still doing damage from the sandbag. So one member left there, nothing's going to try and take that fight. He's stuck in the corner though, and with mid smoked off, they could be very aggressive on clearing him out of there. He's trying to make his way out, smokes himself off. And look at Gabi, he's pushing up. Is he going to clear to the right? Shazam's there, he misses the no-scope. He's able to pull out the Tech 9. Gabi not responding quick enough. Now Shazam's in a tough spot, hidden under vent.
Yeah, he's looking for this frag on the cat box where Nico is playing. Legia is also over there to join the party. And look at this, though. Pushed up, Chris J and Toxic, 1 and 2. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. Shazam, your last man standing, drops out of the vents. But Chris J knows he's over there. AWP 1 versus 3. Legia over here in CT spawn. He's got to hit the no-scope. Well, maybe not a no-scope, but he does hit the shot. That's going to leave it on a 2 versus 1 now.